Letter number 26, Airmail, December 1st, 1943. Dear Margie, received your letter number 9 a few minutes ago and am glad to hear you are feeling so fine, but gee dear, I wish you would try and get a little more rest at night. I know it's a hard habit to break this staying up late, but you should, especially while you are working. So, the boys are trying to date you up. For a married man, I can't say that I blame him, but he had better start making tracks before this war is over. Thank the Lord I am not like other fellows I know who are always doubting their wives, then stepping out to get even. The poor boobs. Well darling, I started in survey today and go on leave tomorrow for 7 maybe 9 days. I am going to Chester, then stop at Stratford-on-Avon and Coventry on the way back. I will write you from one of 3 places. I will keep a log of all I see, also try and get a few pictures so I can give you a real description of the trip. Gosh, I wish you were here to come with me. It will be my first leave that you won't actually be figuring in. We could have a great time seeing the sights. Regarding the course, I am to take 4 to 6 weeks starting the 15th, which will make me a C trade, and if there is an opening in the field, I will continue for a B trade. I will sign the whole of the first raise to you, dear. It will pay for my smokes and leave you a few dollars extra, which you will certainly be able to use. If I can only get an A pay by spring with a hook, maybe you will be able to have a pretty fair summer. I only wish I could do more for you. I know I will never be able to do all I want to do for you. Well darling, guess this is all for the present. I hope my mail is coming through a little better than it has been. I have written regular. By the way, note my new address. It will get mail to me a little faster. Well, night night, Margie. Give my regards to the folks and all my love to you, dear. As ever. Roger XXXX. Letter number 26, Airmail, December 10th, 1943. Dear Margie. Well darling, I have just returned from my leave and have had a real swell time. I didn't write during that time as I didn't have any blue forms with me, and a straight letter isn't so good, especially this time of year. I only got 7 days and came in 14 hours late, so I'm up on charge in the morning. Don't know what I will get, but it will be enough. I was supposed to have 9 days and counted on it. So, when they cut my leave to 7, I was only able to see 2 of the relatives. I went straight to Chester, a town near Liverpool, and saw Doug McIntosh, a brother of the one in Hong Kong. They really treated me swell. I spent 3 lazy days there. Chester is a very old town, an original Roman town. The old Roman wall and fort still stands. I am writing more details in a straight letter. I kept wishing you were with me, we could have had so much fun. I then went to Coventry to Moo's brother. They are a swell family. They have 2 boys and get a real kick out of them. They hated to see me leave and I hated to go. They told me a lot about Gil and some of the things he would do when he spent leave with them. Stan took me all through the city proper and I saw the blitzed part, a total wreck. It's hard to describe, but we'll try in the straight. I left yesterday morning for camp but had train trouble, didn't get into London until late. By the time I had supper it was a wild rush for the station and I didn't make it, so I returned this morning late. There were letters and 2 parcels waiting for me. 1 parcel from Mother and 1 from a BB knitting club. But no letter from you, dear. This makes nearly a week and a half. They must be held up. By the way, a letter from Artby says Don is over here. Can't say I'm pleased to hear it, but naturally will be glad to see him. Also got a letter from Paul. He is doing fine and asked to be remembered to you. Sid received a letter from Halifax. The gang there is fine, but find things a little quieter from last summer. Well darling, this is the end of the paper. It will be very near Christmas by the time you receive this, just 15 days away. This time last year we had a Christmas to look forward to, but I'm afraid this one will just be another day. But cheer up, there is next year coming and then there will be a stocking to fill. Oh boy, all my love, dearest, will write tomorrow. As ever. Roger XXXX. Letter number 27, Airmail, December 12, 1943. Dear Margie. Well darling, received a letter from you yesterday, the first in over 2 weeks. It was your 4th letter in November, a straight mail, postmarked November 8th. Gee, it was really great, the kind of letters I like to receive from you. I was up before the major regarding my 14 hours AWL and he sent me to the colonel. Boy, did I expect to get it in the neck. But he only docked me 7 days' pay. That's heavy enough, but I could see me doing extra work for a month. So there goes my good record, but not a bad record without being caught. Went into Farnborough yesterday and found Don. We looked up Jackson Bowyer and spent a few hours together. Jackson had a date, so left us. So, Don and I saw a show and had dinner together. Today the three of us went to Borden and saw art, stayed around the camp until late afternoon, then struck back for town and had lunch at one of the hostels. Spent a few hours in the game and lounge room, then I hightailed back here to get this away before they close shop. I hope to write a good long letter tomorrow and tell you all about my leave, as there isn't room on one of these pages. We had a little snow today, just a flurry, but boy was it ever cold out. The wind went right through. Well, darling, guess it will be pretty near Christmas by the time you receive this letter. I sure wish I were with you. Here is hoping we will be together next year. I sincerely hope so. I am getting really fed up with this kind of life and place. There goes the warning for last mailing, so I am just going to make it. I wanted to get this away tonight so I will be free to write the long one tomorrow. So, we'll now go to bed. You are probably getting ready for dinner about now. I wish I were sitting down with you. Well, good night, darling. All my love to the best girl in the world. Jean Shoes. As ever. Roger XXXX.